He called me useless. That's the first word that left my husband Mark's lips the day I walked in, clutching a box with my office supplies. He had this smug little smirk, the kind that says, I knew it. He saw my job loss not as a tragedy for us, but as a victory for him. For years, he'd subtly, and not so subtly, hinted that my career was a cute little hobby compared to his real work in finance. Now, with my termination papers, he thought he finally had proof. He thought he'd won. Little did he know, the real game hadn't even started. And I was holding all the cards. You see, years before I even met Mark, back when I was just a grad student burning the midnight oil in a university lab, I developed a revolutionary data compression algorithm. It was my baby, a project born from caffeine and pure passion. I filed a patent, and just before our wedding, a tech giant acquired it. The final sale price, a quiet, life-altering $97 million. I never told him. It wasn't about distrust at first. It just felt like my asterisk achievement, a separate part of my identity. But as our marriage went on, his condescending attitude made me hold that secret tighter. It became my silent safety net. So when he stood there, gloating over my misfortune, I didn't cry or scream. I just felt a strange sense of calm. We need to talk, he said later that evening, his tone dripping with false concern. With you not working, things will be tight. I think it's best if we go our separate ways. I need a partner who is my equal, not a dependent. He actually used the word upgrade as if I were an old phone model. He wanted a divorce. He was so sure I'd be destitute, begging him for scraps from our shared life. So I did the last thing he expected. I looked him straight in the eye and said, okay, Mark, if that's what you want. The shock on his face was almost comical. He expected a fight, tears, a desperate plea. He didn't get one. We hired lawyers, and I agreed to his terms with an almost serene compliance. He took the house, the car he drove, and a significant chunk of our joint savings, leaving me with what he considered the scraps. He paraded his new, younger girlfriend around town, making sure everyone saw how quickly he had upgraded. My former in-laws, who once praised my cooking, now looked at me with pity, whispering about poor jobless Sarah. Months passed. I moved into a modest apartment, letting them all believe their narrative. The divorce was finalized. Mark was living his best life, or so he thought. Then came the annual Family Foundation Gala, a huge event his family hosted every year. My ex-mother-in-law, probably out of a twisted sense of pity, sent me an invitation. It's for a good cause, the note said. I think she wanted me to see everything I had lost. So I decided to go, not as the pitied ex-wife, but as myself. I didn't arrive in a flashy car or a designer gown. I wore a simple but elegant dress and walked in quietly. The whispers started immediately. Mark and his new partner shot me a look of pure disdain. But the real drama started during the keynote address. The host of the event, a respected community leader, took the stage to announce a new massive donation that would fund a STEM scholarship for underprivileged students for the next decade. We are honored and humbled, the host announced, to accept a foundational gift of $10 million from one of our city's most brilliant and generous innovators. A picture flashed on the giant screen behind him. It was me, a professional headshot I had taken a month prior. Please join me in giving a round of applause to the founder of the Future Forward Initiative, Miss Sarah Chun. The entire ballroom went silent. You could have heard a pin drop. I watched as Mark's face went from confusion to disbelief, then to a pale, sickly shade of horror. His jaw was practically on the floor. His new girlfriend looked at him, then at the screen, then back at him, her expression screaming, "What is going on?" His parents looked like they'd seen a ghost. The smirks, the pity, the condescension all evaporated, replaced by raw, unfiltered shock. I just stood up, gave a small, polite wave to the crowd, and smiled. It wasn't a smile of revenge. It was the smile of a woman who knew her own worth all along. He called me useless, but the truth is, I had never needed his validation to be valuable. The best part wasn't the look on his face. It was knowing that his biggest mistake wasn't just losing a wife, but completely failing to see the woman who was standing right in front of him the entire time. Thanks so much for watching my story today. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more content. See you in the next one.